Movies and films in the 1930s brought a temporary reprieve from the struggles of the Great Depression. 25 to 50 cents was the general ticket price for a movie at the start of the decade, but as the Great Depression dragged on, double features became available. Usually, a second feature was a B-rated movie. People could go to theaters and even drive-ins. In order to lure people into which some would call an extravagant expense, theater owners offered gimmicks such as bingo and various giveaways. Unfortunately, these efforts were futile when one-third of U.S. movie theaters were forced to close by 1933. Regardless, a year later, the economy began to show improvement. This meant revival for the movie business. By the end of the 1930s, over 100 million U.S. citizens were attending double-feature films every week. Technological advances created milestones in movies when talkies and eventually Technicolor came into play. In the 1930s, Warner Brothers Studios opened the gateway into one of the biggest movie crazes of all time, gangsters. Movies such as Little Caesar, The Public Enemy, and Scarface provided Americans with a parallel view of success and poverty. The mid-1930s brought protesters against the genre of gangster films. The argument was that regardless of a gangster's tragedy, their story ended with unrealistic fantasy of wealth and power. Other movies that caused uproars were the 1930s Western films, which portrayed the rugged cowboy, the do-gooders of society, rectifying the sins of a villain. Popularity of television and film has now increased to the point where most of us are glued to it. Technical advances have made movies both enjoyable and well-made. Who knows what kinds of discoveries will be made for the future of film?